Following a recent South Park leak, Katy Perry is apparently in full-blown panic mode. The script is brutal. The target her fictitious interstellar journey people didn't appreciate that she used her space travel opportunity to advertise her tour, The fact that it happened immediately after one of her fellow crew members raised the Bahamian flag didn't help either. If what we've learned is accurate, this could be the most brutal takedown since Meghan Markle became agitated. A version of a future South Park episode has leaked online, and the uncensored first draft pandemonium has fans and celebrities rushing, according to numerous rumors and insider rumors. What's wrong, man? I feel stupid around you for some reason. In any case, when you sung in space, sound waves were picked up by extraterrestrial communication satellites. Katy Perry is at the heart of the chaos, circling her image like a PR shuttle and hoping it doesn't crash. Scenes that mock Katy's claimed participation in a space tourism marketing campaign, which she has been teasing in interviews and social media posts for months, are reportedly included in the leaked script, which is reportedly still in preparation. However, South Park did more than just make fun of the idea, they torched it. According to reports, the script depicts a fictional pop singer that suspiciously resembles Katy, complete with a rainbow bob wig cupcake bra and a fixation with leaving Earth to stay relevant. As if this wasn't too much already, she did this after she got home from her space trip. Officially, pop artist Katy Perry is an astronaut. Katy gave the dirt a kiss. She liked, kissed, and heard. According to sources, the show makes fun of her purported efforts to reinvent herself as an interstellar ambassador for love and art while making awkward comparisons to celebrity vanity projects. Yes, phony space missions and dubious tech billionaires, the pop singer unintentionally live streams her breakdown from orbit, complete with pre-recorded sobs and zero-gravity hair flips, in a vicious subplot that the authors even include. Fans are immediately making connections despite the South Park team's lack of an official comment, particularly when one writer wrote and swiftly removed a mysterious remark that read, "ground control to PR control." It's rather loud when I ask for it and am receptive to it, I'm constantly seeking small affirmations from the heavens, my guides, my angels, and my higher self. Coincidence? Katy's group doesn't believe that Hollywood is now on edge since the script is apparently making the rounds on Reddit and private Discord servers. If this episode airs as planned, South Park won't be the ones shedding zero-gravity tears because Katy's image could be put in a parody blender. In summary, Katy Perry is freaking out because this is surgical rather than satirical. If the stolen script is authentic, it deconstructs her space goals rather than merely making fun of them. Insiders with access to draft pages claim that the episode depicts Katy as a delusional pop relic who is anxious to break free from the orbit of her career by literally jumping off the Earth. According to the storyline, the pop sensation who is thought to be based on Katy teams up with a dubious Elon billionaire to become the first performer to sing on the moon. The worst part is that it's all staged in a Hollywood soundstage. The ramifications are harsh. Let's now examine who boarded this flight. Indeed, there was a rocket scientist named Aisha Bo. Amanda Guan was a bioastronics research scientist, and I apologize for my poor pronunciation. The script raises doubts about the veracity of everything Katy promotes in addition to implying that her career is so stagnant that she requires an interstellar stunt to stay relevant. A single phrase purportedly circulating from the leaked manuscript she grabbed for space, as she was unable to reach the charts. Oh no! However, this is where it goes even further. According to sources, the episode features memories to her early 2000s persona, complete with whipped cream bras, sugary pop songs, and extravagant clothes, which stands in stark contrast to her more polished and possibly less influential current career. The message: Katy Perry did not change. Instead, she fled. Not to mention her prior controversies. As several fans have pointed out, this type of roast was unavoidable. For years, there's been a growing criticism against her Vegas residency due to uncomfortable red carpet incidents and that one strange cryptocurrency endorsement. Perhaps the first to combine them all into a single, unabashed, vicious animated hit song is South Park. I am participating in space training today, and I must say that there is a lot to process. They show us the capsule as the day draws to a close. Katy didn't anticipate being pulled through cartoon hell first if she believed that space was the last frontier. If the writers of South Park are renowned for anything, it's because they never hold back and they never miss anything. Trey Parker and Matt Stone have established a reputation over the years for dragging some of the world's biggest celebrities through animated hell. No one is untouchable, from Tom Cruise imprisoned in a cupboard to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry pleading for privacy while on a global press tour. Additionally, Katy Perry might have just earned a place on the show's lengthy list of well-known takedowns if the leaked script is accurate. It's not only that South Park's satire is humorous that makes it so vicious. The fact that it's accurate, they focus on the aspects of public personalities that people are already speculating about before shouting it aloud, exaggerating it, and beaming it into millions of homes. This isn't a casual allusion to pop culture. Katy will be the subject of a takedown comparing her space PR attempt to staged moon landings, influencer desperation, and old pop singers clinging to relevance via spectacle if the entire episode airs. They adored it, and I could feel the majesty of the cosmos flowing through my feet while I was actually in space. No, they conveyed this message to us. Additionally, we must remember the fate of previous celebrities who were parodied by South Park. Some never really recovered, while others shrugged it off. In addition to parodying people, South Park occasionally permanently rebrands them. And it becomes ingrained in your public DNA when the world views you via a sarcastic lens. For Katy, whose persona has always hovered between absurd and whimsical, this type of representation would solidify her as a joke rather than a quirky celebrity. The leak might not be complete. The episode might still be changing. However, if history is any indication, it only takes a single broadcast to alter everything. What precisely is contained in this leaked script, then? Sources who have seen it claim that Katy Perry is in a downward spiral. The facts are astounding and include posts from now-deleted forums and Discord leaks. The mock pop started merely stage a space flight. It was obviously intended to mimic Katy. She chronicles everything in a theatrical documentary titled Mission Relevant, which is created by a phony streaming service called Cringe Plus. On one of the purported sequences, she is shown flying on a green screen spaceship while lip-syncing to a spoof song called 0G0 Career, as a voiceover enumerates her previous #1 hits, such as Eulogies. She is attempting to auto-tune a song while her helmet fills with glitter in another brief cutaway gag. It's not only ridiculous, but also extremely specific. The most scathing aspect, however, is a whole plotline that centers on the public gradually recognizing the mission is phony and heartless. Well, at least she's trying, and she always did live in her own universe, admirers remark, dismissing the writing. Insiders claim that Katy isn't the only target of the joke. Celebrity cultures are obsessed with illusion. When the world stops watching, her phony launch serves as a metaphor for the extent to which celebrities would go in order to create headlines. Even worse, a persona that is allegedly a distorted version of a prominent tech billionaire Elon Musk caricature is held accountable for financing the expedition but abandoning it midway, leaving the pop star both literally and figuratively alone in space. However, this 11-minute journey must have accomplished something significant for civilization and the entire world. The harm may already be done even if the episode never airs. Because of this script, every insecure whispered headline about Katy's decline is taken and sent into orbit, where the internet will be happy to keep it going. As the internet is having a great time. According to reports, Katy Perry's team is in full-blown crisis mode. One source connected to a large PR firm claims that Katy's representatives and the South Park studio have already had contentious discussions. The objective is to remove her from the incident or, at the very least, lessen the harm. However, if you are familiar with South Park, you are aware of one thing. They are not cavemen. Celebrities have attempted to push back before. Remember how South Park didn't bat an eye when Scientology jumped in after the notorious Tom Cruise episode, or when Kanye West became enraged about being labeled a gay fish? They broadcast the episodes uncut and even catered to the criticism. Therefore, Katy's team is dreaming if they believe they can remove her from the plot. According to insiders, her staff initially assumed the leak was a hoax, but as more pages appeared and jokes that were too similar to actual occurrences appeared online, panic broke out, and lawyers were reportedly consulted. There were meetings. Even contacting mutual industry friends to try to moderate the tone was discussed, according to rumors, but South Park doesn't compromise, and the more a celebrity pushes, the more harshly the writers tend to be. Apparently, Katy's representatives are suddenly changing their emphasis. Preparing her image for the consequences is more important than killing the episode. To remind people of the real Katy, that can entail planning an unexpected charity appearance, an emotional interview, or a well-timed documentary teaser. However, the truth is no PR strategy will lessen the damage if South Park's episode airs exactly as planned, because once the audience sees you through parody, it's almost impossible to turn back. Hollywood is closely monitoring the leak as it spreads. Additionally, the responses were mixed but not silent. According to several insiders, they are overjoyed to see Katy finally examined by South Park. She had been dodging it for years. According to reports, one agent remarked, "Honestly, this was overdue." Others, particularly in the music industry, are a little more wary because if Katy is being criticized, who will be next? A few superstars have even gently voiced their opinions. Pop stars pretending to be astronauts is my favorite 2024 genre, read a strangely timed tweet liked by an A-list musician who fans assume has a long-standing feud with Katy. Additionally, we've conducted simulations in another cap. Katy Perry, for example, seems like a kind person. You get the impression that she intends well. However, it's intriguing that, based on the footage she has uploaded, we don't know any of the crew members accompanying her. It feels like everything revolves around her. An uncontextualized meme with a space theme was posted by another former partner. In Hollywood, was it a shade coincidence? Nothing ever happens by accident. However, some people are laughing, while others are anxious. Due to the fact that South Park rarely drags a single person, who else is going to be animated into humiliation if Katy is the target? According to speculations, the episode also features a Gen Z influencer who attempts to help Katy get over her image crisis, a fake tech mogul, and a collapsing record label CEO. Additionally, it seems like none of them look nice. Producers working on Katy-related forthcoming projects are reportedly becoming nervous behind the scenes. According to reports, a streaming platform executive inquired if they should hold off on making any significant drops related to her until the hype subsides. That's hardly damage control. That is the survival of a brand. Because the volume of the reaction isn't the only factor in this industry. It all comes down to who participates, and if other celebrities, companies, or studios begin discreetly separating from Katy as a result, you can be sure it's more than just a leak. It's a reckoning. The internet exploded rather than merely reacting. Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit transformed the leak into a full-fledged digital feeding frenzy within hours of it appearing on specialized forums and Discord servers. As thousands of fans shared phony screen captures and wild predictions about what else might be in the episode, hashtags like Space Katy Mission Relevant and even Katy in Orbit started to trend. In order to mimic Katy's ultimate plummet into parody, TikTok writers stitched together old interviews of her about her ambitions of singing among the stars with dramatic voiceovers. A false trailer for Mission Relevant was shared by one author, which combined Wide Awake and ET snippets with blurry rocket imagery and a deep-fried mashup of fireworks. Within a day, it reached 1 million views. Then there came the changes. Brutal, ubiquitous, and strangely convincing AI-generated clips purporting to be episode teasers began to circulate. Some depict animated Katy floating through space while being grilled by extraterrestrial incarnations of former partners.